Yeah. Yes, yes. What is up? Oh, rookie mistakes, man. Rookie mistakes. And it is late. Another late night, man. I went from far away from Wednesdays, but it's all right. You know, I had to, I don't want to say rush to get one in by the end of the week, but try to do at least one live a week. I used to try to schedule for Wednesdays, but you could see every week's been a little later on into Saturday. Then I was trying to entertain Sunday, but you know, Sunday's gonna be one of those days. I just know it. So, what are we doing? What is the plan as we get into this? All right. First of all, man, welcome. If you're here watching live, if you're catching this live without any notification, welcome to Last Call Podcast Live. All right, I am Last Call, starting up my little channel over here. And let me say thank you. I've gotten a few new subscribers and always respect my supporters from long time, man. But it's weird. Now, I know people get the amount of subscribers I got. I got a mere 55 right now. I know people get that every hour. It took me a while to build that up, man, and I'm proud of that. And thank you for those who saw some recent videos and decided to jump on. Feel free to shout out anytime, send me comments, all that stuff. You know, and I've had some good stuff, some good communication where people like the content or even, you know, a few insights or comments to add to some of the videos that I put out. So let me hurry up and tell you what I do before I proceed and what I'm going to do to proceed today. So, right. I try to do a live at least once a week. The regular days seem to have been Wednesday, although now I'm considering maybe Fridays or Saturdays. Beyond that, once a week, I like to do about a 15, 25-minute video on something in the news and just focus on that one thing, give my perspective and put that video out. The one I did last week or this week did pretty well, man. It was on Snoop and his backlash for performing at the inauguration. So check that out. On top of that, I throw out some old school stuff. Speaking of old school stuff, there's been a song that I've just been playing over and over. So I'm going to dig in the crates and we're going to go after that in a little bit. So by now I have a few videos in the library. So please, if you have the opportunity to check out my page, some of the things that I've done, go ahead and do that, man. Send me a comment. And most important thing you could do to help me out right now, which I appreciate, is you could like, share, and especially subscribe. Help me grow this little thing, all right? And respect anybody out there doing their thing. I won't even lie. Right now, I'm coming from the Partners podcast. They're doing it up live. I think they're bound to go live for maybe a few more minutes. I just jumped over the page right now, so I was hanging out over there, but you know I had to do my live. So they encouraged me to jump out and do this thing. And this live, although most of the time I like to pick out about 3 topics to go through, I feel like I'm playing a little bit of catch up because my agenda, as you see that I put there in the description, were things that I plan to do a while back. So this is why this is called All Sold Out Part 2. And going back on that, you know, I like to pay homage to old CDs and records and stuff like that. All Sold Out is Pete Rock and CL Smooth's first, what do you want to call it, LP, EP, before Mecca and the Soul Brother. And I thought it was a name very fitting especially if I wanted to address the inaugural performances of Nelly and especially Snoop Dogg. Again, I did a video on Snoop Dogg mainly because he's more the icon. So if you can, go back and check that out. My opinion on that as well, and let me know what your opinion is too with that. So if you see how all sold out is spelled, it's not sold out like sold, SOLD. The name of Pete Rock and CL Smooth's CD is all SOULED, soul, like you got soul. So a little play on words there for a lot of the things that I wanted to address. I wanted to address that Slopyy Red AI image of Dr. Martin Luther King. I did a video on that as well, so go check that out if you can. And a few other things that we had listed there. I actually got to check myself. And it, who am I to call anybody a sellout or anything like that? But we do dig into the questions. Oh yeah, and we what the hell are people doing and what they owe to the culture and all that kind of stuff too. That's exact. And as we got into that stuff, one of the things that we were investigating last week was Lord Jamar's crazy crash out on his flat Earth shit, and was joined by some good people. Emmanuel Briggs, shout out, big supporter over there. Even if he's not here tonight, that's cool. And YM was in the house, and I believe a dude by the name of William Turner. And it turned out, man, we just had a good discussion, good participation, and we had a fun time just on that one subject, man. Just going through. I encourage you to go back and check that one out because that was as fun as it gets, man. So today is basically clean up on a lot of things. I don't like when I have things scheduled that I wanted to talk about and I don't get to. And then in one case, the news kind of gets old, or, I'm more reluctant to go back to it. And, talk about it a little. And there's a couple things I wanted to go back and talk about, maybe some new insights. So trying to do a nice tight hour. Normally we have been going longer than that, almost 2 hours. It's amazing, man. And again, thank you for anybody who tunes in, any replay gang, anybody who checks me out somewhere in the meantime. I appreciate all of that. So, you know what? I'm going to do something a little different here, man. I'm going to do something a little different. Got the beat in the background, just chilling. We got vibes. It's Saturday night. We don't have to be on any type of schedule right here. Once in a while, I like to dig in the crates and all that stuff. As my day was pretty busy, I like to keep my music on random, so I could hear stuff from, I don't know, 60s, 70s, 80s, any albums that I like. These days, I don't have the library that I'm used to because I've lost so much music, moving it here, there. Having things digital is great, but when you lose it, shit. What a pain. Just taking a quick drink over here. But as I start to get comfortable and do this, I'm gonna take you guys down memory lane. Now, what's a shame is I know sometimes I'm pretty liberal with the music that I use. I think every podcast that I've done with some sort of music in the background that you guys recognize, I got to watch my terminology here. I don't think it's a strike or whatever, but they've all been copyright, like they haven't affected. Let me see what it says. Copyright protected content found. I got that all over all my shit. Every live that I've done, and you look at my stats, it says copyright, 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 copyright. So there's something, even though it doesn't affect Not like I'm getting a bunch of plays now anyway, but just some of the loops that I use and stuff. But it encourages me to go make more beats and all that kind of stuff somewhere down the road. But for now, the loops that I have. So let me do a couple things as I go to set up. As you hear this in the background, maybe I'll change it. And the other one I play when I'm doing the news. That one's my little long beat. So there's going to be no copyright for that one. I know it's late. I didn't put a notice out for anything, but I am going to put the link just in chance anybody wants to tap in. I think a lot of times I actually forget to put that on, which is okay. Just certain things I like to get out the way and stuff. And I promise you, we will hit the schedule just like I said. So before we actually do that, I started telling you guys about a song that, it is Black History Month, and I don't want to go all pro blackity black with you right now, but a couple of acknowledgments. So let me see if I could share the screen with you. Hang on, type that in. And let me go back. I want to share this with you because when I do that and I'm looking for something, it seems like I'm like just in buffer mode, but it's like you're reading things and trying to do things at the same time, realizing people are listening. Rookie mistakes. We'll just chalk it up to rookie mistakes. So hang on for one sec. I will tell you. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see if this will, I haven't set it up to this time, but here it is. I'm going to turn this down and read a little bit. I don't know if you guys have the same relationship with music as I do sometimes. I'm not saying like I'm super gifted, this, that, the other, but sometimes there's just music that I will play over and over again, even if I've known it really well. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some tracks like that. As far back, some of the CDs that I brought up was like Camp Low. The 6-track Sparkle did that to me. When I made it that far, I remember DMX's album. It took me so long to make it to that last track called Niggas Done Started Something that I didn't even know that was on there. Like I would never make it that far to the CD because I'd be playing everything all the time on there. And it was one of those things where, I found much later and I couldn't stop playing over and over. But there's certain ways, chemical imbalances like that for me too. And I don't know, I wasn't really planning on naming a bunch of songs, but I'm not saying a new banger or something like that where you just, you play it out because, it's the party anthem, this, that, the other. It's something where the lyrics just hit you a different way and you feel it. So recently, if you could see over there, and it's a shame, I don't want to play this. The song that I'm talking about, I might as well just tell you about it, is The Message from Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, and the Furious Five. Now, we know this, right? It's been in, it's one of the go-tos, but I'm not sure people go to it the way that we should go to it. Because, I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not going to play it because, quite frankly, I'm sick of getting the copyright. It holds up my video for a little bit, but I don't know. I guess I might read some of it if I go to the right page. So, let me take a little drinky drink. Not a real drink. This is juice because I'm eating my taco. Actually, you know what? I'm going to eat some of my taco. Hold up. Away from the mic so you guys don't hear me being all gross. Oh, man. Pepper. Bad idea. Sorry. All right. I promise I won't do that again. But I don't know how I want to attack this month. Like I said, I don't want to be too preachy on stuff. I like to give out certain information. I like to go into topics, and there are a couple things that I want to go into, and we have time to do that, and we will do that, hopefully I get on track with the stuff that I want to do. Now, back to this. I was loving this song. Now, if you guys are, old schoolers, you don't have to be old, but, old schoolers. I kind of remember when the message came out on the radio in a way. I didn't really have a radio. Things I used to listen to through my uncle or on the streets and stuff like that. I knew there was something special about the message because radio stations didn't know what the fuck to do with it. R&B stations wouldn't necessarily mess with it. Rock stations actually played it more than, because there weren't real hip hop stations and stuff like that, unless, they commandeered a college station or some shit. Back in the day they played. So thank God it had a video, because the video was pretty decent. They would play that for a while. And as an adult, I got this track from 1982 a lot more than I did, obviously, as a kid back in the day. I think with lyrics like this, with Melly Mel, and actually just let me read a couple, and you just read it along. I'm not rapping, I'm reading. Broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stairs, they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise, got no money to move out. I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with a baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far because the man with the tow truck repossessed my car. It's like, holy, all right, that I like that. I think this spirit jumped around from this time to Chuck D, to Ice Cube. Tupac had this type of spirit. I'm not sure we had many rappers to uphold this sort of thing, but you know the rest of the lyrics. It's the very last verse that does it for me. But before we get there, standing on the front stoop, hanging out the window, watching all the cars go by, roaring as the breeze is blowing. Crazy lady living in a bag, eating out of garbage pails. Used to be a fag hag. Said she danced a tango, skipped the lights and dango. All right, there's a lot of reading I'm just not getting into, and I'm sure it doesn't sound the way we want it to. Anyway, I like all those ones, but the verse, you get about two more verses from there. And Melly Mel said that both his verses, I think, came from different songs. So when he comes back on and he raps this part about a child is born with no state of mind, this is a verse where, if you needed to describe what hip hop was why it's so important socially and what it should do for people, like, this is the one that you go to. So I know I have it on screen. It's probably hard for you guys to read. So I'm just going to read it out a little bit. And it's like, I don't even know, like a 6-minute song. You bob your head to it. It's got a funk beat, unlike no other at the time. And it's been used. Ice Cube used it. A couple people used it that fuck is her name? Benzino's daughter, LaCoy. I don't know what the fuck her name is. She, in my opinion, didn't really do it justice, but it was just a little dance beat or whatever. But this stands the test of time. And back in the time, this is 1982, when people were going to and like do that hat and a cat and a rat rapping. The way this flowed when he does this and he raps with conviction and says what he says, it's just really one of these things. So I'll read a little bit of it from what I could see. My setup here is so weird. As I said in a previous podcast, I was moving around a little bit, moving some furniture in another room. This room is cold. I got the stand-up / sit-down desk, and I'm doing exactly that. I'm sitting when I probably should be standing. The desk is higher. The mic is lower over here. The computer screen is too far back where I could read comfortably. So it all sucks over here. But I don't know. This was good. I thought it was good. I got to set it up the way that I had it before, but I've changed furniture and blah, 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 all that stuff. So, after all that 4 or 5 minutes, pretty good rapping, puts you in the situation. Melly Malcolm's back and he hits you with, a child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God is smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you'll go through. Whew. You'll grow in the ghetto, living second rate, and your eyes will sing a song called Deep Hate. The places you play and where you stay looks like one great big alleyway. Now that is, I like that. I like that a lot. You'll admire all the number book takers, thugs, pimps, and pushers, and the big money makers driving big cars, spending 20s and 10s, and you want to grow up to be just like them, huh? So a lot of people believe that's where that gangster origin translated from blaxploitation, into hip hop, right? They made the pimp super fly. These guys look cool, and kind of like hip hop. That's one of the ways that they went with that, rather than condemn the people doing the crime and the harm to the black community. I want to grow up to be just like that. Smugglers, scramblers, burglars, gamblers, pickpocket peddlers, even panhandlers. You say I'm cool. I'm no fool. But then you wind up dropping out of high school. Now you're unemployed. All non-void. Walking around like your pretty boy Floyd. Turned stick-up kid, but look what you done did. Got set up for an 8-year bid. Now your manhood is took and you're a Maytag. I thought I said you're a main tag, but it's Maytag. Spend the next 2 years as an undercover, being used and abused and served like hell to one day he was found hung dead in his cell. Now, isn't that some shit? So, does Maytag have a meaning? The fuck does Maytag mean? If you're like me right now, you're like, oh, it means it's the appliance. But is there another? I'm looking it up on my phone to see. Yeah, obviously, does it mean now you're a dishwasher? I don't know. What does Maytag mean? Is there another word for it? It goes straight to Maytag, like kitchen appliances. Yeah. I never knew that said mate. Now you're a Maytag. Spend the next 2 years as a Yeah, everything I see. If you guys know, put that down, man. I'd like to know. I just learned something. Well, I didn't learn it yet, I guess. Spend the next 2 years. So next 2 years is an undercover that, I guess alluding to the abuse in prison like that, being used and abused and served like hell. Damn. And then you couldn't take it. So you're found hung dead in your cell. It was, and then all that is amazing. Like the passion that comes out of Melly Mel when he says that. But then he says, it was plain to see that your life was lost. You was cold and your body swung back and forth. But now your eyes sing the sad, sad song of how you lived so fast and died so young. So don't push me. It's that is man, if you ever just get a chance to play it in your car, man. That's how when it was on random and I was doing a lot of running around and stuff today, that's where it just came on at a light, the starting like and I just stuck with it, man. And I couldn't get over that last verse that we just read over there, just the passion that went into that. And that was 1982, that type of rapping, man. And man, I really wish I could play it now without getting a strike or something like that. But, who knows what the hell Melly Mel, what's up with Melly Mel, man? He seems every interview, a lot of these dudes that I see in interviews, they seem quite bothered. And do we just appreciate the fact that they had a rough time in the game? As far as who even knows if he owns that song or any of the rights to that shit. But I hate the fact that he went against Eminem. I'm not an Eminem fan like that. I definitely appreciate his dedication to the artistry of the game, but I don't go out and buy a whole bunch of his shit. I hate the fact that Grandmaster Flash came out, or sorry, not Melly Mel came out and had the nerve to actually write some shit, and it was not that good. Anyway, that spent a little bit of time on that, but if you can, man, go back out to check the message. God damn, I don't know why, but it hit me hard listening this time to it. Maybe you'll like it also. So there's a couple things I wanted to go back and check, do a couple updates with. So let me go and do that. Hey, Steph, it's been so long, man. What's up? Steph in the house. How are you, man? There's a song randomly come on at some moments. So under a lot of pressure. Yeah. You get to that last verse, man. It's like some real stuff, man. And he put together, he put together a couple songs. Especially that last verse. I think he had it for another song, but man, it fits so well. And just the way that he comes in, and it's like, damn, that's rapping. No auto tunes. Just right into it, man. Where was the big one? So I just want to clean up a couple things from last week real quick. One was crazy ass Lord Jamar and his flat earth thing, saying that he was going to sue Godfrey. I haven't heard anything more on that, but the consensus is that homeboy is crazy. And do me a favor, go back and check my last podcast, all sold out, I guess part 1. This is kind of a part 2, but not really. This is just kind of cleaning up the scraps I didn't get to, or I just had to kind of dance around last time. Now, there were a couple other artists that we were talking about. Let me go back to a video that I did. What did people think about Snoop Dogg and his performance at the inauguration? It didn't bother me as much as I think it probably would have at one point in my life. Again, I made a video on it. I don't want to go back in. Like 2 people saw it. It doesn't matter if I go back, I guess. But my thought on it is a little bit of what D.L. Hughley said. Like, what changed from 2017 where you condemned all these people who were set to perform, and he had vitriol, like he was bothered. And my question is just, what changed in that time, right? There was something else I want to play with this, and I want to draw a little bit of a parallel to Snoop and his thing too. Let me see if I could just play a little what I did, if I could sum it up in a way, more or less. You know what? Did you guys hear that? I'm just switching the screen over here. Let me tell you, I did a little video here on Slopyy Red. I don't like this person. But I tell you what, and I feel like a bum for even admitting this. Over the last 48 hours, fucking what was it, Bruno Mars came out with that jam. Gotta tell you, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. What is it? Fat, juicy, fucking wet. Now, I don't like the whole song and all that. I'm not saying that. But I do like his part in it for the first 20 seconds. And that's it. That's it. I know how much shit I gave this individual, but it's like, all right. Bruno Mars did his part, but he's catching a lot of shit because he's doing some X-rated stuff or speaking on some X-rated stuff after he did that Apatapatow, whatever the fuck it is. And then he's doing that, which he's allowed, man. You know, do your thing. You know, do your little club banger. But I just find that Slopyy Red has like zero fucking talent. She sounds horrible. She represents horribly. As you can see, I did a video on that also when she did her image on the AI on Martin Luther King. Glad that she apologized and stepped out somewhat as gracefully as she could. Now, our dude, Snoop Dogg. Let's see what I'm saying about this. Potential black performers at Trump's first inauguration. A little something like this is what I just said.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first?
Now, it's a lot of words, man. That's a lot of words, you know. What's up, YM? In the house. Yeah, I know. On top of her just being so gross. So I obviously haven't listened to, I think, none of her music. I know she says a couple things from one of her songs. They quoted that sort of deal. Have you seen this clip going around? You know what I'm talking about? Fuck, I can't afford another strike, but let me see what I could find over here real quick. Maybe I could get away with why am I hearing noises outside? Now, I don't know the terminology, but some of my shit wouldn't show because of some copyright stuff. And then other things say that it could show without a penalty. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm a lot more reluctant to show the shit that instead of like what I used to do and just like put shit up there. So I know there's like I haven't even grown yet. I'm just a small ass little station over here, and it's like paying attention to what I do, however the hell works. Technology is a hell of a thing, man. Anyway, so we know about Snoop. Oh, so you haven't seen the new? Should I try and play a little bit of this? Let me see what I could do. Let me see what I could do without getting in too much trouble. And I'm not saying. Let me declare right now, people. I don't like it. I'm not a fan, never going to be a fan. Looking at the music industry and knowing who Bruno Mars is, and kind of like the trajectory of his, I guess, career, this thing just kind of came up in the shorts. So you got like 15 seconds of it or so. I don't know if I could do this, but I will. I will. Now, just from music A&R perspective, what's his name? Bruno Mars just catching a lot of shit for his part in this, and I'm okay with his part. He kind of does his thing, and he's kind of cool in it. So let me see if I could show this, and then I'll deal with whatever. And again, this is like it's pretty popular. I'm going to show it one time, this one little part, and then go back to what I was talking about. All right, let me see if there's any volume. I just like this little part where he does his thing. That's it. He should have just done it. All right, that's all I'm showing there. You didn't like that joint with Anderson .Paak? I thought creatively, music-wise, it was a decent little thing that he did over there. But if I have a little guilty pleasure, that's a couple of seconds. I could just picture that being a good club banger. But anyway, let's get back to this thing with Snoop, because there's something else I wanted to present and get a couple of opinions on too. So we know Snoop in this little bit of controversy. What I want to do is make a little bit of a parallel. And if I said the name Jackie Robinson, where do you think I'm going with Jackie Robinson on this one? There's a lot, and I haven't seen a good documentary or even a great movie on Jackie Robinson. Did we know that our boy, what's his name? Wakanda. Come on, help me out. You know who the hell I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Damn, I can't believe I forgot his name. It's a shame. Chadwick, thank you. Shit, that's such a damn shame. Yes, R.I.P. I'm telling you, there's something about being here on the mic where you just forget shit. All right, so a little bit about Jackie Robinson. And I guess this is good, right? Because it's November 1st, a little bit of Black history and whatnot. I hate that Black history is so watered down in this country that it's like Harriet Tubman, she did the Underground Railroad. Yeah, when in fact, she was a soldier, one of the top soldiers for the Union. They hardly ever speak about that because of her ability to navigate the land and all of that as well. All right, that's something else to talk about. And then it's like Martin Luther King, like his life was so rosy, like a Disney movie. He fought for equality, and that's it. Anyway, Jackie Robinson, and let me just see if I could call this up. First of all, he was a lot more of an activist than he's portrayed to just break the color barrier in baseball. That's like the least of his great accomplishments. All right. Now, here's something interesting. Do you know at one time, Jackie Robinson wasn't as popular or loved or well regarded as he might be today, or even as history shapes him? Because he had this not one little thing that he did. And you really got to put your mind into it. So, all right, meaning that you have to get the context of why this may have been a big deal. Because today, we see artists that some of you guys admire, voting this way, that way, and there's certain disdain for them. But you got to picture back in the 40s, 50s, well, you say up to the 60s, because, there weren't voting rights for Black people up until a certain time and even after the civil rights movement, go through that. You know what? I might want to go through, just for the month, go through a couple of documentaries and stuff. All right. So what I'm trying to do here is go through, I don't want to quite announce it yet. I want to see if it's over here. So whatever you think about it, and this isn't for me to slander him or take any importance away from him as well. But it's just something that I found interesting, and I think we could draw a little bit of parallel with what we've seen at the inauguration. And it should be right here, damn it. But hang on for 1 second. Stick with me, I guarantee. Oh, what we were saying here? Portrayals on stage and film. So a few things we could look at, maybe even this month. 1978, there was a television special, A Home Run for Love. God, that sounds corny. After school special. Oh, check this out. In 1981, David Alan Grier from In Living Color fame, Broadway production of the musical The First. Other ones you can see here, I'm not going to, but a lot of Broadway productions, which I guess is cool, right? Blair Underwood. I think I actually saw that one. And as we labeled right here, Chadwick Boseman. So it's very, the name of it was called 42. I actually did end up seeing that, but no shade on those actors or the productions and stuff, but I don't really find that they really captured. I haven't found anything. He didn't really get what he deserved as far as film goes, I find. Maybe that's to come. I do like what baseball has done and have a Jackie Robinson Day where everybody wears 42, if you notice that, even if you're not a fan of the sport. But anyway, we're slowly getting to the thing I want to get to. Without giving it away. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to go by memory. Which, anyway, as I'm talking, I guess I'll just go by memory and let you know what I'm getting to. So, you know who Jackie Robinson is. You also know a name that I'm going to tell you, Richard Nixon, otherwise known as Tricky Dick. Jackie Robinson promoted and was part of the Richard Nixon campaign. Did you know this? This is where he lost a lot of his support back in the day. Now, if you're feeling bad, let me just do a little fast forward for you and give you a little spoiler alert. He ended up regretting that, his personal decisions, when he saw how not committed Nixon was to any civil rights. His suspicion of Nixon started when Richard Nixon flat out refused to campaign in Harlem, and Robinson had to look at him sideways. So here we have, in 2025, these endorsements and celebration of these presidents. But again, we've had that in the past. You know what? I feel like I'm passing the goddamn thing. I probably did see it. Awards and recognition. Would it be under there? Family life. Would it not be under there? Anybody see a Nixon? Come on. Was the vice president for personal chock-full of nuts, first black person to serve as black president for the American Corporation and the ACP. You know what? While we have him here, why the hell not? Why the hell not go through some of the things that he's done? So post-baseball life for Jackie Robinson. And again, keep in mind, I want you, because it's not like a Kanye West thing where he just kind of lost his mind and started to endorse, people like that. He thought he was doing the right thing to begin with. And when he saw that Nixon was, the Nixon that we would turn out to know, he wanted to undo any of the campaigning that he did. So some of the things that he did. All right. Robinson once told future Hall of Fame inductee Hank Aaron that the game of baseball is great, but the greatest thing that you could do is after your career is over. Robinson retired from baseball at the age of 37 in 1957. He complained about many physical ailments. He was diagnosed with diabetes. Didn't know that. It affected his brothers. All right, I want to go through more accomplishments. 1959, he entered the Greenville Municipal Airport's white-only waiting room. Airport police asked Robinson to leave, but he refused. At a National Association NAACP speech in Greenville, South Carolina, Robinson urged complete freedom and encouraged Black citizens to vote to protest their second-class citizenships. The following January, approximately 1,000 people marched on New Year's Day to the airport, which was desegregated shortly after. All right. So I know I'm not going to read the whole thing here, but yes, he was involved in a lot of marches with a lot of the leaders here too. Let's continue. Encourage voters, very big on the voters there. You could read this. I'm pretty sure. What is this? Wikipedia. It's in there. I'm not going to bore you and read the whole thing out to you, but it's definitely worth a look into. 1965, he served as an analyst for ABC's Major League Baseball Game of the Week. First Black person to do so. Hired as general manager for the short-lived Brooklyn Dodgers. Remember when Brooklyn Dodgers was over there in New York? And the Continental Football League. In 1972, he served as a part-time commentator for the Montreal Expos, which is no longer. Damn shame. In 57 to 1964, Robinson was the vice president for personnel at Chock full of Nuts. He was the first Black person to serve as vice president of a major American corporation. All right. A lot of stuff here. I'm just, I wasn't planning on reading all this stuff. I really wanted to get to the thing about Nixon, but I can't find it. Don't want to. Okay. Robinson was active in politics throughout the post-baseball life. He identified himself as a political independent, although he held conservative opinions on several issues, including the Vietnam War. He once wrote to Martin Luther King to defend the Johnson administration's military policy. After supporting Richard Nixon in his 1960 presidential race against John F. Kennedy, Robinson later praised Kennedy effusively for his stance on civil rights. Now, isn't that interesting? So at a time there in 1960, Robinson, you had the choice of Nixon and President Kennedy there, and he went to Nixon on that. I wonder what it was that he saw. Obviously he didn't have the foresight to see how terrible and corrupt Nixon would begin. He didn't have the foresight of Watergate. But let's see this. Robinson was angered by the 1964 presidential election candidacy of the conservative Republican Senator Barry Goldwater of Arizona, who had opposed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. He became one of 6 national directors for Nelson Rockefeller's unsuccessful campaign to be nominated as the Republican candidate for the election. After the party nominated Goldwater instead, Robinson left the party's convention, get out of here, commenting that he now had a better understanding of how it must have been to be a Jew in Hitler's Germany. Wow. He later became a special assistant for the community affairs when Rockefeller was reelected governor of New York, 1966 to 71. He was appointed to the New York State Athletic Commission by Rockefeller. Look at that, man. Did you know that? I didn't know that. In 1968, he broke with the Republican Party and supported Hubert Humphrey against Nixon in that year's presidential election. Wow. All right. That's about as much as I want to go down that road over there. So I think from what I've known, And what I've seen before, that is definitely where I think he lost a lot of his momentum. Um, Maybe in America. Uh, I don't think he also died very young, you know. Um, he was as popular after that, which is a shame, right? Oh, I wish I saw that before. Thanks, YM. I will definitely try that next time I'm looking for something over there. Yeah. One thing with a lot of these, um, even if history is not celebrated properly, as we might find in school curriculums and stuff like that, I found that in some ways it is respected throughout different parts in the country. Um, the space program, for one, and I didn't expect to be speaking on this. If you look into that, for one, they've named a couple of the rovers. I think one of the rovers for Mars was labeled Sojourner Truth. Um, they dedicate things like that to people in history. The military, the Navy has also done stuff like that also. And, they do find ways through history, although, it's tough because it's unnoticed, but I guess it is in some form of a tribute and stuff like that. You know what? While we're on it, why the hell don't I look it up? Josephine, what's up? We are now have changed to do some sort of lessons here. I wasn't prepared for this, but why the hell not? If you guys are sticking out, doing some stuff. I don't even know how to look this up. Let me go to Joiner Truth. Rover. Do I call it Rover? I don't even know what the hell to look it over. Okay. So I'm not crazy. 97. I thought it was more recent than that. So let me see that I'm not just talking shit over here. So I did see this. I'm having a hard time believing it was 1997, but let's read what the hell we're talking about. So, first of all, we know who Sojourner Truth is, right? Let's give another recap of some of her accomplishments. Ain't I a woman? Let's just go to the quick one over here. In 1851, Women's Rights Convention. So obviously she was an abolitionist. I don't know if I should say obviously, but also history reveals that she's done a lot more for women's rights than she gets credit for too, right? If you can, go check out this poem that she wrote. Is it terrible that I don't play it now? Should I play it? What does the chat say? Should I? What should I do? What the hell should I do? Tell me. Anyway, all this stuff you could look up. It's there. That's what she's known for. Anti-woman, abolitionist, and women's rights. This is what she did. But anyway, what I'm really getting to is the tribute portion of that, just making sure that it shows there for you guys in the ways that I don't know, I can't even say this country, but different entities have showed their support for people in history. And I don't know, am I making too much of a big deal about this? The robotic Sojourner rover reached Mars on July 4th. Oh, what a monumental day too. In 1997, as part of Mars Pathfinder mission, Sojourner was operational on Mars for 92 sols, 95 Earth days, and was the first wheeled vehicle to operate on an astronomical object other than the Earth or Moon. The landing site was the area. Oh, nice reading. Villas Villa's channel in Jesus Christ. Just read the thing. All these words. I'm not doing it right now. The rover was equipped with front and rear cameras and hardware that was used to conduct several scientific experiments. It was designed for the mission lasting 7 sols with the possible extension of 30 sols. What the hell is a sol? Earth days? All right. And was active for 83 sols, 85 Earth days. The rover communicated with Earth through the Pathfinder base station, which had its last successful communication session with Earth at 3:23 a.m. September 27th. I don't even know why I remember that and why I thought it was like 10 years ago and not in 1997, and how the hell I even remembered this. But again, these are nice little ways to pay tribute to, I guess, some sort of American history where, I think it's a pretty big deal to have the name dedicated to this sort of mission as well. They call this thing the Sojourner, man, and put it on Mars. That's pretty wild. All right. No, is it not wild? All right. So those are the things that I wanted. Wow, we moved from Jackie Robinson over to Sojourner Truth. Were we done with Jackie Robinson? Let me see if I still have that open over there. Did you guys know that? Did you know that? Tell me I taught something today that maybe you didn't know. All right. Now we're going to go back to my original video. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. And I said I was going to do a tight hour. How much time do we have left? Got a couple minutes. Keep it going. I do want to go to bed soon enough, All right, so here we are back with this guy, Snoop. Let's get over the rest of this. And again, I did do a video on this, so go check it out if you can. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. So we're back to Snoop and his disdain for what he would do several years later.
I was the one that's performed, you jigaboo ass niggas.
Jesus.
Gonna be the first one to do it. I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first?
Well, what do you think happened to Snoop between that time? What do you think happened to him between that year and a few years later, jumping on? Is it that level of corporate where he's at? Now, I don't even like to compare Nelly to a Snoop Dogg status, right? Because they're not the same in the corporate world and global I don't want to say impact, but popularity rather, right? They did. I think DL Hughley did a pretty good job. I'll check out a clip, see if I could find that. What's his name? Nelly tried to spin it in a way where he's like, he's not for Republicans. He performed for the winner. He did it in a cheap way like that. I performed for the winner. He's my president now, blah, 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 blah. Sounding like a real no backbone-ish type of guy, And, let me see. Hang on. Let me see if I could find what DL was saying here. DL on Nelly and Snoop Dogg. Oh, I did see one. Who did one? I think. Hang on. He did that, but Gottfried also kind of did a recap for it that I thought was really good. And since I used Gottfried last week and there was no strike, let me let me see. Isn't this weird shit? How does this guy get away with that? Am I even showing this? All right, here we go. So well, there is something that they came out with that he was trying to get one of his boys pardoned. That I think he actually did. Get one of his friends pardoned. You know, some maybe his own political strategy or whatever. But he came out weak. You know what? We do have to find this. So hang out for one. Let me see. I thought I just had it. Okay. There we go. Oh, this might be. Yeah. I was looking at this.
I went on stage yesterday.
See how much.
And I had a good set because I talked about this shit.
Let's see how much I could kind of use from this. I think I remember going through some of this. So let's see.
Yeah. And I talked about the Cubans and all this other shit, but I talked about Elon Gold. Yeah. It was Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Doing the
Nazi.
Listen, okay, what is it? Is it what's this? What would this be? In sign language, this would be girl.
Is it?
This would be boy. Yeah, this is boy. This is girl. Okay, girl is like a little curl.
Yeah.
In sign language, that's girl. This is boy because it's small.
We'll do more Elon maybe some other time.
From his father that abused him because he was abused by his dad. Like.
What behavior? The behavior was fine. I got
and just do the work.
Wow.
Wait till you see the before and after.
Instant. And I was just like, and these ladies didn't know English. I go, I'm from America. You know Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg. I said.
Anyway, his brand is him crashing out.
Yeah, and also he had the one hit, so he really didn't.
I think we looked at Snoop as this is big granddaddy OG Snoop. And you hear me, Mike?
It was no one else.
Can you Google and see if
but they had
any
Carrie,
other rappers?
I guess Carrie Underwood is sort of a right-winger racist bitch.
But she's also a country singer, so.
Look,
I heard.
But
so maybe
Soulja Boy, I give credit to because Soulja Boy said, yo, suck my dick. I needed that money. I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
And Soulja Boy is a dick. That's what he does.
Yeah.
At least he was honest and truthful and said, it was the bag was big.
Also, let's be real. When's the last time Soulja Boy came out with any? Like Soulja Boy probably definitely needed the money.
He said he said it, and he's the biggest asshole of all of them.
And Mike,
and
was it honest. Somebody else? And Mike, was it also somebody else other than Rick Ross? Rick Ross, Soulja Boy,
Nelly,
Snoop. That's it.
You hear me, Mike?
It was no one else.
Can you Google and see if
but
there
they
was
had
any
Carrie,
other rappers?
I guess Carrie Underwood is sort of a right-winger racist bitch.
But she's also a country singer, so
when they do, but there's that deep down, those women that are just they're really just racist as fuck. Oh yeah, and you can't wait to get the opportunity.
You can't. I think people don't understand. We love Snoop. Nobody gives a fuck about Rick Ross. Nobody gives a fuck about Nelly.
Nope.
And Soulja Boy crashes out anyway. His brand is him crashing out.
Yeah. And also he had the one hit, so he really didn't.
I think we looked at Snoop as this is big granddaddy OG Snoop, and people had beloved him. You know, even with him doing the show with Martha Stewart.
I thought it was dope as fuck. Two convicts.
Yeah.
First of all, Snoop is an icon. This is when I knew Snoop transcended an iconic level when I was in China, and I was just like, and these ladies didn't know English. I go, I'm from America. You know Snoop Dogg? Snoop Dogg. I said, this. I'm at the wall of the.
See, I think there's a lot of truth to that too. His popularity has transcended from just rap. Like he really is a global icon, where he's able to do things that probably was just unimaginable as some kid rapping in the 90s, right? But at what point do you have that social responsibility? And then like 2017 is not okay. You had COVID, all that sort of shit is not that far from 2024, 25 to have such a strong opinion on that. I just want to know like what happened.
The
Great Wall
of China, and these women were like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. He went to the Olympics last year or whenever the Olympics
But
was.
he's so big. He's transcended hip hop. He's just an iconic figure, which is fantastic. I know Snoop well.
Yeah.
Soul Plane and just doing stuff with him at his dog pound.
Yeah.
Me and Matt Richards hanging out with him, like showing me love. That motherfucker showed me love. I know his kids when they were little. Now they're big. He's always been cool with me. Always been a great guy. Very nice dude. And this one here, I was like, yeah, that was not a good look because you made a videotape in 2017.
I think that adds to it. I think that video that he made, like, why would you do that? Such vitriol. And again, just what happened?
Dogging.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to move it up a little bit because these aren't the people necessarily speaking out against it. I said DL Hughley had a couple things to say. So, and he's been pretty silent since his Kamala loss. But here we go.
Find it. Okay. He's in the car smoking, playing music like that shit.
Yeah.
He's like, nah.
And his best.
So he started getting some backlash for it, and Snoop basically came out. I don't know if you guys seen this, but I'll play a couple seconds of it. Came out not even really addressing the issue, kind of I don't know, just talking shit.
His friend is Clarence, the guy that passed away. It was his best.
Yeah.
Like, and they, okay, here we go. Watch this. Listen to this.
It's Sunday, man. I got gospel in my heart right now. For all the hate, I'm going to answer it with love. Y'all can't hate enough on me. I love too much.
Not working. Yeah. Now you got church.
I call.
He's always from God.
And he answers.
He thought he could
Yeah.
God.
Something about becoming the new America's new sweetheart. And we were
Get your life
ecstatic.
right.
Okay, wait,
Stop worrying
listen.
about mine. I'm cool. I'm together. Still a black man. Still 100% black. All out. Till you ball out. Or till you fall out. Rapping Forte. What's up, my nigga? Love you, cuz. I ain't going nowhere. Come right here. Yeah.
He's weird. He's not even really addressing anything. What's going on with this dude?
On crypto. Yeah, get the crypto on crypto. Here we go.
That's it.
That's it.
So I guess, yeah, but he said nothing, didn't address the situation. And as much as these motherfuckers keeping it real, it would have been nice if you kept it real. Like, yo, man, he hasn't addressed anything. And for people to not question him, what are they saying over there? Like, you should be like, yo, man, what the fuck? I'm one too.
It's on DL.
So we're gonna move it up, and now we'll check out what Hughley said, which I don't always like the way he goes off, but maybe he's learned a little bit about, he was Harris's attack dog for a little while. I don't think that was a good look for him, but anyway, here we go.
DL's page.
I show the DL one. That's a real good one too. DL don't do
They're
that.
supporting people who want to give qualified immunity.
For a Trump event. One of the things he pointed out was that we always stick together. We're good at tearing each other apart, which is pretty constant. It's pretty consistent when somebody gets into trouble. It takes backlash from the community. It's always a communal thing. It isn't any action they took. It is the fact that we can't stay together, that we can't stick together, that it's us always attacking us. But that flies in the face of the reality of what's happening right now. It is not us who are tearing down affirmative action. It is not us who is tearing down DEI. It is not us who are tearing families apart. It is not us who have decided that affirmative action and rollbacks that have been that had precedent for 50, 60 years are gone. It is not us that is doing it. It is the man you decided to perform for. It is not us who ridiculed you.
I even better than he does go into the video that he made, a few years back. But even this is a good intro to add a little bit more logic as to, what the hell happened with Snoop doing this.
It was Elon Musk who showed your clip from 2017 and another from 2025 and said the vibe shift is real. It wasn't us that did
You're
that.
shitting me.
It is. I think most people are disappointed because they saw you a specific way, and you have a right to kind of interpret and do whatever artistically you want to. No one's begrudging you that. But why the attack on the community because they disagree with something you did?
Talk over this, but
you performed for a guy
That it?
they knew would do what he's doing. But it's us that have the problem. It's us that are wrong. It is us that can't stick together. 92% of black women voted against this man. 86% of black men have voted for him. Almost 90% of black people in general voted against him. We stuck together. We decided that this was a man who was bad for our community. We stuck together. We didn't try to tear each other apart. We tried to protect each other. And the very man who knew would do the very things he's doing, you decided to entertain. It isn't anger or hate. It is honestly people being disappointed.
Is he speaking truth so far? What do you think? I can't believe I'm saying this, but for one time, I like his demeanor. I like everything he's talking about. He's delivering it correctly. He's got his facts straight on this one.
But why is the most common refrain whenever somebody gets to a situation like that, you tell us we can't stick together? We've shown you we have. We've shown you we did. We voted in more specific numbers than any other demographic in the nation. We did stick together.
Yeah.
And if you're so angry,
that is the one. Sorry to cut it off. I know it was getting good there. That is the one. Probably the part I hate the most about Snoop jumping on there and talking shit. He played the race card. This motherfucker played the race card, talking about black people always trying to bring down a black man. What? Rich motherfucker? What? Come on now.
Angry about the backlash you're getting, you need to talk to the 2017 version of you.
Oh, damn.
The 2017 that was said that you would ride out anybody.
Yo, I'm just gonna put that back. That was some real shit.
17 version of you.
Oh, damn.
And if you're so angry about the backlash you're getting, you need to talk to the 2017 version of you.
Oh, damn.
The 2017 that was said that you would ride out anybody that performed for him. Anybody.
I'm so proud of the
use
way
very colorful language. So it isn't us that you have a problem with. It is you.
I do. Finally, DL is, maybe he's toned down a little. Yo, Tiz in the house. What's up? What's up, partners? Yeah, just going through this, man.
The 2025 version of you is at odds with the 2017 version of you. So it ain't the us that got to get together. It's you. You need to have a conversation with the man in the mirror. What is so different about the 2017 Snoop and the 2025 Snoop? It ain't us. We ain't in it. This is the inner turmoil. You don't need to look at the community. Look in the mirror. That's a little note from the GED section. Got JAG report coming up at 15.
Damn.
It's the DL.
First of all, I respect how
I just want to hear the rest of this conversation.
DL has become part of the culture.
Yes.
This OG that speaks truth to power.
And he's from
It's
LA.
amazing.
He was a gangbanger too. You know that DL was a gangbanger.
Yeah, but
I'm saying
his
evolution
is
evolution as a political comic and a political aware, a
cultural.
Pundit. I texted him and said,
Amazing.
Yeah.
and he talked to me about being an honorary Q.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he talked to me. He talked to me for like a half hour. Because he said, he goes, I think you'd be, he said, Godfrey, I think you'd be perfect. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm not. It ain't.
Was that a good DL?
Yes. I don't know DL enough to.
You just heard his voice.
You just heard his voice, Dante.
You did just hear his voice.
You just got it.
But he don't have a voice. Like his voice.
No, he goes, you got to look at the 2017 you and look at the 225 you.
Okay, I get it now. I get it. I get it now.
You know what DL used to be like?
He doesn't have like a prolific voice.
But DL used to be like, say, brother, what's your name? I see that hat is tight as fuck.
That's
All right. So yeah, if you asked before YM if there was anybody who kind of spoke on that, confronted it, I think DL probably did the best on that. Wherever he stands on that. I certainly would like to see the next election that comes around where DL is going to put his powers and whatnot. Now, just looking forward because I might shut it down in a little bit. I thought by 12 o'clock, I'm like, I'll be done for the week. But that means I do have to come back on at least by Wednesday and get back on to my regular schedule because Saturday's kind of late. Although, if I could guarantee Saturdays, I probably would set up to do it. I just don't think I could guarantee to do any Saturdays or anything like that. I had a couple things on the plate, but now I think the couple things that I have that's listed down in the description, they would probably last. I could probably do a whole podcast on that because I might want to. So let me even see if I could word it right here. Hold on. So there were two things. I don't really want to cover Trump as much, but there were two things that in the near future we're going to cover. Number one is Trump did release some sealed documents. I think particularly on the JFK, on the Martin Luther King, and his brother Robert Kennedy assassination that hasn't been released to the public. I think that is going to be some niche shit. And can I just say, what a disappointment. Robert Kennedy's son working for the Trump. He needs to be rolling over in his freaking grave if he knew his son was doing some bullshit like that, man. That is some real bullshit, Robert Kennedy. He even told you, man. See documentaries and books. He told you to do better than that bullshit. What a punk ass Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is, for Christ's sake. Sorry. And so I want to check out the sealed documents. And then lately, what do you call it? A lot of things have been released to the public domain. You know what? While I got you guys here, why not? I'm going to hold you hostage. I'll tell you some of the things that we get to look at. Public domain, it's not just a YouTube thing where I can't type and talk to you guys at the same time. It's not just a matter of things you can play for free and stuff, but it's neat because now you can get new creative rights to it and stuff like that. Domain, public domain. Let's see. Just some of the things that will enter public, or has, I guess, if it's listed. When copyright expires, I used to know the years of when copyright expires. I seem to think 75 years things expire. Public domain day 2025, here when it turned. If you're interested, I don't know if this type of stuff is interesting to people. Yeah, I might do a little bit more of another show on that, Still on in the background. His own family member says RFK ancient. Yeah. It's disappointing. You know what? I don't know. How much more? What do we need to confirm exactly? You know what? I'm surprised I didn't jump on. You know what? I might. I say that now, but watch when I freaking go to sleep. It just like leaves my head. I wonder, man, what's in there. I do my little fake search that I think, I'm from the old school, like some of you guys, man. I had to look up shit with microfiche. If you even know that term, you did your research and stuff. That's where, for some reason, you had to use a microscope with fucking negatives of text to be able to read it that way. What the fuck is that? God damn. All right. Where was I? I was looking up public domain shit. Happy New Year, blah, 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 public domain. So stuff from 1929, with the exception of song recordings, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. This one's not telling me a whole lot. You know what? I do think it might be if something interesting comes out of that. But I'm more interested in what those sealed documents might actually say, and how the hell would I get my hand on those documents to be able to go through it? Do you think we know all there is to know? Do you think certain convictions or things that we thought about it, do you think things would change about what we think happened in the past? Because I don't know, man. I think what we might find is maybe the admittal of more government interference is what I think we'd find from that stuff. I'm not saying, oh, okay. I want to show you guys a couple things. Notable properties entering. Did that change over for you guys? Entering the public domain. Here's from one old guy to another. Microfiche was like the Viewmaster version of Google back in the day. I just said, what? Like there was nothing better than that? Does anybody remember going into the library? You had to get a library card, look up some shit, read periodicals, like there was one copy of the newspaper. God damn, that seems so archaic. All right, we're going to close it up soon. I just want to, you see some of this list. And then, yeah, maybe I'll do more of a live on this when I get to read it a little more for myself. All right. After Winnie the Pooh and Bambi, A Life in the Woods, entered public domain in 2022 with Mickey Mouse in the Steamboat Willie. Remember this shit? He does this for like a 10-minute cartoon. All right. I'm not reading all that. I did a lot of reading tonight. If you're just jumping on here and check it out, you might find some interesting stuff from earlier. We went through, I wanted to draw a little parallel between Jackie Robinson and some people who kind of support other political parties than, you know, his support of Nixon until he realized. And quite frankly, if you go back, I know it's hard to gauge what the context was in that time, but really, if you read anything about him and his achievements, they don't play it up too much in the news now or any of the writing, but that is where his popularity dipped from that, right? All right, it's after midnight. All right, so here's just some of the stuff that was released, you know, as things get older. This always happens. I'm just seeing, I think there's a works from, W.E.B. Du Bois, Dark Princess. That is in public domain. That's interesting. Tarzan stuff, a bunch of Disney stuff in here as well. Peter Pan, interesting. Again, Dark Princess by Wow. Orlando by Virginia Woolf. That's pretty big. Something by Agatha Christie. There's something. I'm going to put this out here so maybe you guys could force me sometime later on to actually look this up. Now, I am somewhat of a fan of Agatha Christie because if you like horror movies, but if you particularly like whodunit, she is the whodunit. Now I'm going to let you know. She did a story, I believe, called 10 Little Indians or something like that. But that was taken. You could look this up. If anybody's still listening, you could look this up. 10 Little Indians was actually famously known as 10 Little Niggers. And I am not lying. I'm going to find that for you guys. Hopefully, I don't forget it just when I walk off of here. That was a thing. But I swear it was. You know what? I know people stay up here late and just, people ride out and look for shit. I want to find a piece of that so that I'm not crazy. All right. and then we'll go to bed. And then, well, whatever you guys are gonna do, I'm freaking going to bed. Let me type this in. I'm laughing now. It's like, why would you bring that up and not have more proof? All right, hang on. I think I actually got my hands on it. Oh, okay, here we go. This is the last thing we're doing. This is the last thing we're doing. And what a hell of a way to... I didn't even spell it right. I don't even know what the fuck I was trying to spell. All right. I was right. I was exactly right. Here's a little good night reading before you go to bed. All right. I was right about the whole thing. Holy shit. Look at this. Are you looking? Let me see if I'm sharing my page. Am I? Oh, I don't even think I'm sharing my page properly. All right. Here we are. This is what I'm laughing at. All right, so I typed it in right here. YouTube, this is some learning shit, all right? Fair use acting shit. We are learning some shit today. So, this is I was not bullshitting. So right now, it's known as and then there was none. So that alludes to the fact that it was a whodunit. Now, everybody's not a nerd like I am. So let me turn that down. So if you don't know what a whodunit is, it's like what a lot of movies are done. I guess one popular one that everybody would know is the movie Scream, where you don't know who the killer is, but people are like disappearing and shit until you start to realize, oh, you went to the bathroom at 8 o'clock and this person was here and the knife was missing from the kitchen. And so that means the killer is, that sort of deal. So I don't even know. Fucking podcasts are weird. If I knew, I was going to be talking about this. All right, here we go. I just got to see what fucking Wikipedia's got to say about this. So this article is about the novel For All of Their Uses, and Then There Was None. And Then There Was None is a mystery novel by English writer Agatha Christie, who described it as the most difficult of her books to write. It was first published in the UK by Collins Crime Lab on November 1939 as, there it is, 10 little N-words. Jesus Christ. Now, they're going to try to make the case here that it's not the N-word that we think it is today. It's something else. Then it was like 10 little Indians, and then there was none, I guess, when it went global. But after 1869, a minstrel song that serves as a major plot element. Sorry, I read that wrong. The U.S. edition was released in January 1940 with the title, fuck, I can't even see. And Then There Was None. So we want to know. And then down there it says pocketbooks, paperback, used 10 little Indians between everything. I don't even know how I knew that, from 1964. So going way back to 1869, it was called the 10 Little N-Words. And then 1940, as Indians were the new N-words, and then it was the 10 Little Indians by 1964. What the fuck, right? All right, so it tells you the plot here, all that sort of stuff. I told you I was just going to introduce this to you, so that's what I'm doing, and then we're going to get out of here. But I want to. The plot is structured around the 10 lines of the rhymes. 10 little. I don't even want to say 10 little ninjas. Like what? Holy, like shit is fucked up. Is it history? Fucked up. Jesus Christ. 10 little soldier boys went out to dine. One choked his little what? And then there was 9. What is people? we're gonna have to spend a whole. We're gonna need a whole podcast on this. 9 little soldier boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there was 8. The fuck does it mean to oversleep yourself, dude? Every little soldier boy, 8 little soldier boys traveling in divan. One said he'd stay there, and then there was 7, fucking I don't know. 7 little soldier boys chopping up sticks. One chopped himself in half, and then there was 6. What the fuck? This is more violent than hip hop today. 6 little soldier boys playing with a hive. A bumblebee stung one, and then there was 5. All right, an allergy. He had an allergy. He was allergic to bees. 5. That's the fact he dies is violent. 5 little soldier boys going in for law. One got in chancery, and then there was 4. I guess in Boston, if you say it, it's fall. What the fuck is the court of chancery? Was a court of equity. Oh yeah, they could send you to jail if you were poor. Yeah, great. So instead of these 4 little soldier boys, is it these 4 little N-words? Should all this down here be 4 little N-words? Boys walking in a zoo. A bear hugged one. And then there was 2. Fuck. This is what it takes to be in the American canon for great authors. Fuck you. 2 little soldier boys sitting in the sun. Now let me read it how it's supposed to be read. 2 little nigger boys sitting in the sun. One got frizzled up, and then there was none. That's where Snoop Dogg got his language. He got frizzled, my nizzled. One little short Negro boy left all alone. He went out and hanged himself. And then that doesn't even rhyme. Alone and none. Gee, he hung himself. What the fuck? We might really. Yo. We might really have to come back to study this shit. This is just disturbing. Jesus Christ. Did you ever hear that? You ever hear that, Tiz? Story called 10 Little Niggers? I hope I don't get a strike for saying the N-words. I'm using it in the literary context. All right. If they could write it, I sure as hell could say it. Crying out loud. What the hell? Can you imagine sitting in class and your teacher's reading 10 little niggers to you and they're hanging themselves and being bear hugged? What the fuck? Oh, look, right here. Okay, I'm going to read this and then we're done. I promise. I'm going to end up reading this even off. So Christie's own assessment. I had written the book 10 Little Niggers because it was so difficult to do that the idea had fascinated me. 10 people had to die without it becoming ridiculous or the murderer being obvious. I wrote the book after a tremendous amount of planning, and I was pleased with what I have made of it. It was clear, straightforward, baffling, and yet had a perfectly reasonable explanation. In fact, it had to have an epilogue in order to explain it. It was well received, of course, and reviewed. But the person who was really pleased with it was myself. Oh, what a fucking, so full of yourself, Agatha Christie. For I knew better than any critic how difficult it had been. I don't say it is the play or book of mine that I like best, or even that I think it is my best. But I do think in some ways that it is better piece of craftsmanship than anything else I've written. Oh, so she just loves her 10 little niggers. Good for you, Agatha Christie. Jesus Christ. Right? He did get she put a lynching. This was racial. This was completely racial. What the fuck, dude? I thought Agatha Christie was one of the good ones. I was wrong. All right. I am tired. Just a decade or so ago, I would party on a Friday night, on a Saturday night, Friday and Saturday night. Now I can't wait to get to bed. What the hell happened? As we zone out, man, I would like to thank anybody and everybody for coming to check me out, checking out my live. I do appreciate it. Actually, let me run down the names over here for people that came that I appreciate. Tiz and the partners. Big fan of you guys, man. Thank you for coming out, supporting my stuff. YM, be checking out your stuff. I know you posted some stuff. I didn't get a chance to check you out. But I think, even 2 weeks ago, you missed me, and then you said that you catch me on the next live, and you kept your word, and you totally did it, man. Totally appreciate that. Josephine, haven't seen you around in a while, so I'm glad that you found me here and came to check me too. And Stephanie, we gotta have more cases for Stephanie to chime in on, because I like her opinion, her legal opinion on stuff when she's over here. And anybody who's catching the replay, anybody who may have been watching, silent watcher, appreciate that too. Just to remind you, I try to do a live at least once a week. And I also try to drop a 15-20 minute video on one subject a week. Other than that, I maybe drop some old school, digging in the crates. We try to give you some information here, some current events, some music kind of stuff too. So please, man, by any means, find a video that you like, chill out, watch a few things, drop a comment, and do me the biggest favor that you could possibly do for me. Like, share, and subscribe. Finished another week. Hope you guys rest up, get some relaxation, do what you gotta do for yourself and your family. Do it all again next week. All the best. Thank you for coming out. Peace.